You know, I want to be clear here. I don't romanticize Vladimir Putin. I don't romanticize the Russians. But it's wrong to use al-Qaeda to attack the Syrians and start a war. And so Russia was on the right side of that, and our own military agreed with that. And a lot of the Republican leadership did it, as well as Democrats, and that stopped. And it's wrong with George Soros to go in and start this revolution in Ukraine, even though I know that Ukrainians have some real issues with Russian influence in the East. I get all that. My issue is, as George Washington said, these foreign entanglements are wrong, and we have seen enough of American blood, sweat, tears, and our name being used for corporate interest. Because if you look at what's happened, they've just appointed, as the deputy prime minister over there, a central banker who's planning to basically loot the country. So there's been some neocon attacks on us saying we're putting out pro-Russia propaganda. And I just want to respond to those people that that's intellectually bankrupt. We are against funding al-Qaeda out of Saudi Arabia to go in and blow up 500 churches or more in Syria, preemptively, to turn that country over to Islamicists. Now look at Iraq, much worse than it was. Country's overrun by jihadis from both camps. Iran's there. It's a serious situation. And this is not for American interest. This is for globalist interest that all of this is going on. That's where I stand on this. And out of these political wars and economic wars and financial wars, we the people end up losing in the final equation. And so that's why I'm a libertarian who is against offensive war and offensive meddling in other countries. I'd rather deal with people through trade and through soft power, something this country had up until the 1960s. So that is all coming up today. I tell you, folks, there is just so much news that we're going to be breaking down. We're going to be talking about a ton of it with Tucker Carlson coming up. But here's a new article out right now. Syrian rebels amputate man's hand live and then tweet it. And if you look at the flag right there on drudgereport.com, you understand that is an al-Qaeda Wahhabist black flag. And that is a bin Laden brigade flag right there. Just like you learn what the Texas flag looks like, or the German flag, or the Japanese flag. The Japanese flag is a white background with a red sun, rising sun. That is a Osama bin Laden brigade flag right there. And if you go over here, there is a Wahhabist flag right there if you're watching us on television. So that's the orgy of off-the-chart insane news that we've got. This is out of the Washington Post. Syrian extremists amputate a man's hand and live tweet it. We'll know what they are is al-Qaeda, in the al-Qaeda outfits, with the al-Qaeda flags. That's about 65% of the force over there. And they are taking over the entire country. Look at this. Look at this shot out of the Washington Post where they are chopping his hand off live on television. They're putting burqas on the women's heads. They are kicking women out of college. They are literally turning the country over to a bunch of cavemen from all over the Caucasus, you name it, that have flooded in, Saudi Arabia, Afghanistan, you name it, to have a Saudi Arabia-funded free-for-all, and we call this a liberation. This is outrageous.
You are watching the best of the Alex Jones Show, weekdays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central. Watch live at Infowars.com/show or become a member of InfoWarsNews.com and help us take resistance to the next level.